All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division, where there has been an sort of an update with the Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford rematch. And this came from Stephen Espinoza while he was speaking about another very, very bizarre issue or conversation going on about Javonte Davis and Keith Thurman. Let's talk about what he said and the impact of it on the fight, on the rematch that is supposed to happen by December. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division, or really could be the 154-pound division, and also update you on something that was said by Showtime's Stephen Espinoza, who put a fork in some rumors around who Javonte Davis's next opponent is, but in doing so, made me wonder whether or not this Errol Spence Terrence Crawford fight is really going to happen this year. Now, before I get into it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It really does make a big difference to the channel. And thank you to everybody that supports, and super thanks. My guy, Matty Yo, Barbara D, Mr. Pragmatic, Paul Carrick, Unadulterated Truth. Thank you guys for continuing to be such big supporters and sponsors of the channel. This is how we're able to continue to do it. But let's get into this, because to me, this is good and bad news, man. There's been a lot of conversations going on because, you know, there's not a lot of boxing going on right now. Of course, we've got the big fight going on this weekend with Canelo Alvarez versus Jermell Charlo. But that particular fight, even though I think it'll do well, is not really pushing a lot of conversation. And I think that very well could be because a lot of people just assume that Canelo Alvarez is going to win that fight. Even though I don't see why anybody would make that assumption getting in the ring with somebody like Jermell. But nonetheless, not a lot of chatter about it, even though I do think that the fight is going to do well. I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's got a great undercard to it. However, the conversation that had really kicked off this week has really been around Javonte Davis and Javonte Davis and who he's going to fight next. Calvin Ford had come out and said that he and this is Calvin Ford is the trainer for Javonte Davis, came out and said that they have their eye on a fight, and this fight is really going to shake up Vegas. If this fight gets done, it's something that everybody is going to be really interested in. It's a big deal. And obviously Javonte Davis and his camp want to continue the momentum that they had from their last fight with Ryan Garcia, the one that did over 1.2 million pay-per-view buys and was just a really big success for Javonte and everybody else involved, including Ryan Garcia. So people started speculating about who it was, and a report came out and said that the fight would be between Javonte Davis and Keith Thurman for December 9th. Which anybody with a brain in their head really should have immediately just dismissed, because it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for the size that Javonte Davis is. It doesn't make sense because of the inactivity of Keith Thurman. And it just all the way around is something that Javonte Davis himself had said before, man, had dismissed. But that it just keeps coming up and keeps coming up. Kenny Ellis came out and said, who was the second trainer or the co-head trainer of Javonte Davis, and came out and said that the rumor was not true. And now you have Stephen Espinoza, who is the president of Showtime Sports, and said, and this is a guy that very rarely is very like just let you know exactly something is not going to happen. He said will not happen. Please stop believing this stuff. It will not happen. Obviously, that report was nonsense. And then, however, in the same conversation, he was asked about when you're going to announce more dates for the fall and the winter. And his answer to that, to me, was a little bit, it was interesting, not disheartening. And I'll tell you why it's not disheartening for me. But he says, fall is already over. So technically speaking, fall is not over. But so I guess there's not going to be any fights that they're going to announce for maybe October. But I think in like the November and the time frame, but they said that there's going to be a couple more dates that will be announced. Now, I think we already know the couple more dates that are going to be announced. That is December 9th and December 30th are the couple dates. However, that leads me to believe or suspect that we may not get the Errol Spence Jr. Terrence Crawford fight in December, that rematch may actually wind up taking place if it takes place in 2024. And the reason that I say that is because December 9th is a fight where there's already several fights on that date. Not that it couldn't compete or beat the fights that are on that date. Like, for example, I know that Devin Haney is fighting Regis Prograis on December 9th. There's also rumors about other fights taking place on December 9th and December 30th, right? So, but the date, I think that the date for that would be December 9th. And December 30th rather. And it just doesn't seem like, I just don't know about that particular date for a major championship fight. I've just never heard about a fight on that particular date, the 2 days before New Year's. It just kind of seems to me that you're right in the heart of the holiday time. I don't know about people traveling to the fight, selling those tickets in Vegas for that type of fight. It seems, but then again, those dates are reserved for both the MGM Grand and the whatever the venue was that the last fight, the T-Mobile Arena. I do believe it's the T-Mobile Arena, right? So those dates are reserved for those. But I just think, seeing as right now there is no announcement as far as whether the rematch date is going to take place, they got a few more weeks to actually sew that in and announce it. But I'd have just a suspicion based off what he said that it's going to be what Steven Espinoza had said earlier, that the fight if the fight takes place, is going to be late this year, early next year. And that's something he had said a few months ago. I think more than likely we're looking at early 2025 for that rematch. If that rematch takes place. Also, I believe that fight is going to be at 154 pounds. I'm really interested in that particular contract clause that was talked about by Terrence Crawford. The way that he phrased that seemed like, man, that fight is almost destined to 154. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.